Leave the Fishbowl. From my newest book, what's it called? Don't Say I Never Gave You Anything. 50 Helpful Pieces of Advice. That's the subtitle. So leave your fishbowl. That means to expand your horizons. It starts here, okay? You don't want to get stagnant. You don't want to get too content. And obviously, you want to be grateful. You want to practice gratitude and all that. But you want to add more to your repertoire, to your arsenal. You want to better equip yourself. Add more layers. Okay? After a while, the monotony takes its toll on you. It limits you. It dulls the mind. You know, and you don't go expecting anything other than what you see. So that can be very detrimental. Understanding that just like the ocean, which has 95% of uncharted water, your mind is full of uncharted areas as well. Probably even more so. Because, you know, and I'm definitely one to talk, so I can definitely relate to this, man. You know, you get comfortable with something. Hey, that's what I like, so that's what I'm gonna go for. You know, I'm very very simple in that regard, and you can find happiness in the simple things. I understand that, you know. So I mean, so that's not what I'm arguing. I'm not really arguing at all, but my argument, my point of all of this is to say that well, I mean, I already made the goddamn point for real, but to kind of reiterate, there is much more out there for you. There's a different version of yourself waiting to meet you. There's a greater version of you. Alright? And you're going to find that through embarking on new adventures. Even though it's going to be uncomfortable. Even though you want to get to the end of it. You want to get to the end of the process. But it's all about the process. Because the process represents the present. Okay? You so focused on the end result, you never going to get there. Because you're not focusing on the process. You're not focusing on this present moment, and this present moment is all that we have. You may not ever see the desired result that you want. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. You know, I love my animals, and I don't remember which documentary I was watching, but it simply said most predators fail most of the time. Okay. Now, if a falcon of sorts, or a wolf or whatever, misses out on a kill, it's not going to say, oh well, I guess hunting isn't the thing for me, because it will fucking die. Okay? So they become accustomed to the hunt, and so shall you. Now this video, or so should you, I should say. But now this video isn't necessarily about that. I just feel like I should mention it. But I see it all the time. I see a bunch of unhappy people who are afraid to dip their feet in other waters. If you know what I'm saying. And this is why a lot of us, we stay in relationships that were dead a long time ago. You know, we just want to keep some bit of comfort, even though it's uncomfortable comfort, you know. Don't want to see what else is out there. The mystery of it all is just worse than leaving the relationship. So we convince ourselves. So we go on with it for however long we choose to, till that other person leaves us, you know, or we stay with this job until the job leaves us. Lays us off. You know, I've heard many horror stories about jobs. You know, like people working a job for 19 years or so, they get close to the point where they, about to retire, and then they get fired. That is deflating, man, for real. Even though in times like this, and circumstances like that, it does open up the gates for new exploration, for something bigger, something better. So, and like my friend Jimmy told me, man, like when you hit a speed bump, when you hit a roadblock or whatever, just think bigger, okay? I think that's just some of the greatest pieces of advice that I've ever received, or one of the greatest pieces. Yeah, I just said that I ever received. I'll take that with me to the grave, So you may find yourself frustrated throughout the day, at the end of the day, at the beginning of your day. But one thing that will bring you hope is understanding that there's more out there, and that there's no external force working against you. It's all in here, man. It's all internal. Now, if you can get all of your forces within you to come together, to conspire, to work towards a greater future or an outcome, then you open up the gates for building momentum to getting to where you want to be, and then you start to look back at who you once were. Look back at who you was. Past tense. Then you start to see how far along you've come, and then you start to see people who not only mirror what you used to be, but people who never quite changed from who they were. Pretty much the same person. And at the core of everything, you would hope that people don't just switch up like that, but change is inevitable. So even though I've changed quite a bit over the years, at the heart of it all, I'm still the same person. I'm still the same child, the same dreamer, with the imagination, just awkward sometimes and shy at times as well. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. To sum it all up, expand your horizons. Always think bigger. Always think outside the box. Destroy the box. Destroy the box. Yeah, but destroy the box. Question the status quo. If it doesn't resonate with you, then cast it aside and find something that you do resonate with. Always look to build on what was, and just have fun exploring. All right, because before you know it, it'll all be over. Like, time goes by fast enough. No use in waiting until this particular day comes to be joyful, or to have a certain mindset that's geared towards exploration. So that's it. I know I stumbled a little bit, but hey, the message is all the same. Think bigger, and we together, we can make this world a much better place. But it starts here, starts in this world. You see my dome, this is my world right here. But alright, take care, like and subscribe.